There's something about episode 7 that's been bugging me. And honestly, I don't think anyone else is really talking about it. And it's making me question everything I thought I knew about where this show is going. So Gooseworx announced that episode 7 had to be split into 2 parts because it was too long, right? Everyone's talking about production stuff. But here's what's really getting to me. What could possibly happen in one episode that's so messed up psychologically that you literally can't cut it down without ruining it? Look, the amazing digital circus has never had pacing issues. Every episode hits exactly the way it's supposed to. So when Goose says episode 7 was too long, she's not just talking about having too much stuff to cram in. She's saying the content is so intense that rushing through it would actually be harmful to watch. And then there's that random line she dropped, "You're only making the joke take longer." That sounds like classic Jax. Like he's talking to someone who's trying really hard not to face something absolutely terrible. What if this episode had to be split because we're about to watch someone completely lose it, and Goose realized that would be way too much to handle all at once? Remember that panic attack Jax had in episode 6 when Pomni said they had fun together? That wasn't just regular self-hatred. That was someone who knows something about himself that he's been hiding from everyone. So here's what I'm thinking. What if Jax has been doing something to himself, like digitally hurting himself, and it's so bad that it's actually messing with his avatar? Think about it. We've never seen his room. We don't know what he does when he's not with the group. There's got to be a reason for that. And you know that glitching thing with his tail? What if all his nasty behavior is just him trying to push everyone away so they don't have to watch him slowly destroy himself? But here's where this gets really messed up. Remember Ribbit, who abstracted before Kaufmo? We found out in episode 6 that Jax basically said both Ribbit and Kaufmo were insufferable right before they lost it. But what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if Ribbit didn't just naturally go insane? What if Jax actually did something to them? Something so psychologically screwed up that it pushed them over the edge? That would explain why he's so convinced he's dangerous to everyone around him. Because he literally knows what he's capable of when someone gets too close. And it's not just about teasing or being difficult. It's about a subtle, almost invisible manipulation that leaves the other person unraveling before anyone else even realizes what's happening. And here's the really scary part. What if whatever he did to Ribbit, he's about to do it again? Except this time, we're going to see it happen in real time. Maybe that's why the episode had to be split, because watching someone's mind break in front of us piece by piece is too intense to handle all at once. Episode 7 might show the full extent of Jax's psychological control, his capacity for harm, and the frightening reality that his jokes are never just jokes. They're warnings of what he's truly capable of. This adds a whole new layer of tension. It's no longer just about Jax being unpredictable or antisocial. It's about realizing that anyone who gets too close could unknowingly step into a trap that might destroy them mentally and emotionally. Ribbit might have been the first victim, but episode 7 could make it horrifyingly clear that no one is safe. And that's exactly why we should all be paying attention. And I think that line about making the joke take longer is probably Jax talking to Pomni. She's been trying to connect with him this whole time, thinking she can help him somehow. But episode 6 showed us exactly what happens when she gets too close. He completely freaks out and pushes her away. Maybe the joke he's talking about is Pomni still believing she can fix him with the power of friendship, even after he's already shown her how messed up he gets when people try to care about him. Episode 7 might be where we finally see their whole relationship just collapse. Not in a sweet way where they finally understand each other, but where Jax proves to her exactly why she should have stayed away from him. And it's not just about conflict or tension. It feels like a deeper psychological play. Pomni might think she understands him, but the reality is she's only scratching the surface. Jax has layers of trauma, secrets, and self-destructive tendencies that we haven't fully seen yet. Episode 7 could be the moment when Pomni is forced to confront the fact that caring isn't always enough, that some people are too complex, too broken, or too dangerous to fix, no matter how much love or patience you bring to the table. This could be the point where their dynamic shifts entirely. Pomni might go in with hope, but she could leave the episode shaken, questioning everything she thought she knew about Jax and even about herself. It's a tense setup that makes you realize just how high the stakes really are, not just for the characters, but for anyone who's emotionally invested in them. You know what's really getting to me about all this? The way Goose has been talking about episode 7. She seems genuinely conflicted, like she's excited for us to see it, but also worried about how people are going to react. That tells me whatever happens is going to fundamentally change how we feel about these characters. Maybe this is the episode where all the masks come off and we see just how damaged these people really are. And maybe it had to be split because showing that much raw trauma all at once would be too much to handle. Think about it. We've always seen glimpses of their flaws, their fears, and their hidden darkness, but never all at once in one episode. Episode 7 might force us to confront things about Jax, Pomni, and the others that we've been ignoring. The parts that are truly uncomfortable to watch. It's like Goose is daring us to face the real consequences of everything that's been happening, and that's why it's so heavy. If you've been watching this show thinking it's going to be about healing, found family, and all that, episode 7 might be where Goose just rips that band-aid right off. It could be a mirror held up to us, forcing us to question our own expectations, our own desire to believe in happy endings, and how easily we overlook the darker realities. This might not just be about the characters breaking down. It could be about us realizing just how much we've been fooling ourselves, clinging to comfort while ignoring the chaos lurking underneath. Look, maybe we're about to find out that some people are just too broken to save, no matter how much we want to believe otherwise. The amazing digital circus has always been way darker than it looks on the surface. Episode 7 might be where all that darkness finally comes crawling out in ways none of us are ready for. Think about it. We've seen hints of trauma, hidden fears, and dangerous behaviors in previous episodes, but we've never had it all laid bare at once. Episode 7 could be that turning point, the moment where the fragile facades crumble and we're forced to confront the full weight of what these characters are really dealing with. It might be uncomfortable, even shocking, but that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. I could be totally wrong about all this, but something about the way this episode had to be handled differently just feels significant. Like we're not just watching another episode. We're about to witness events that might completely change the way we understand the story, the characters, and even the rules of this world. What do you guys think? Are we heading for a way darker turn than anyone's expecting, or am I just overthinking the whole production thing? Could episode 7 redefine everything we've seen so far, or is it just a long, intense episode that happens to push boundaries? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious if anyone else has been getting those weird, unsettling vibes like I have.